Okay, things are looking good. Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. Last time we managed to clear Snowhead Temple, managing to defeat Goat and save the Gorons from a terrible fate. And in doing so, we are pretty much set to continue our journey into some new frontiers. Alright, so this session is gonna be pretty interesting. First of all, I do want to note that I adjusted some of the audio settings on my OBS, cause last couple of sessions I noticed that things have been a little off with how my voice was being captured, and yep, I fiddled around with the noise suppression over here, so hopefully my voice is coming across a lot more clearer, especially when I do a lot of different voices. Like whenever I do this little kid voice, or if I try something a more gruff like this. So hopefully my voice acting from here on out is going to be much better than how things were in the last couple of sessions. But yep, we got a lot we are going to do here. So after clearing up everything you can around Snowhead, what I would recommend doing at this portion for this next leg of the 3-day cycle, so want to grab the Mountain Title Deed again by doing the Moon's Tear quest line and managing to trade the title deeds up to the one you can find in Goron Village. And also want to grab a red potion, as that's going to be quite useful to us going forward. And then, of course, we're going to need the big boom with us. And to do that, we are going to head into the bomb shop. Because one of the previous times we were here, we noticed that there is a Goron inside the shop. Hello, do you come to buy a powder keg? This is just between us, but I have a huge bomb that this shop doesn't even carry. Oh, but my product's so heavy, I don't think you can carry it. I'm sorry I even brought it up. So in order to buy a powder keg from him, you specifically need to be a Goron. Oh, of all places! You're a Goron, so you should be able to carry a powder keg, right? So, won't you buy a powder keg for 50 rupees? Good thing I came prepared and got a lot of rupees from the chests you can find around Clock Town. So we have plenty for this. And with that, we can buy ourselves a powder keg from the Goron. Powder kegs made by my instructor are extremely powerful. Come back and see me if you run out. So yep, you're able to freely buy powder kegs from this Goron in the bomb shop. In order to do so, you need to be licensed to carry powder kegs, which requires doing the quest in order to blow up the entrance to the Goron racetrack. Which is why I made sure to do that in the last session, so that we could have the license necessary to do that. Very nice we're able to take care of so many different things in between just all the other objectives that we had to do in that session. Wow, the Goron Punch just... That's quite interesting that the Goron can't kill Choo-Choos, because their bodies are so soft that our big attacks just bounce right off of them. So of course, you can always just blast those guys with your... Well, you can slash at them with your sword in order to take care of them, so it's no big trouble with that. Okay. So what we are going to be doing here today is that we are going to go to Romani Ranch on the first day of this cycle. Yeah, the previous times we came to this area, we could not access the ranch until the final day because of this huge boulder that is in the way, and this guy's just been hacking away at it over the last 2 days. So you're not able to enter the ranch until this point. So the powder kegs are kind of interesting in that they are only going to see much use in a few key moments. The first of which is having to blow the entrance to the Goron racetrack open. And now, We got ourselves another use for the powder keg right here. Just gonna place you down right in front of this big boulder. Like how the guy trying to break it open is actually steps back because he's like, oh god, it's an explosive! Huh. Hey, as long as it's open at traffic, it's fine. So with that, we're able to blast apart this rock that's been blocking off the ranch. And we can now visit Romani Ranch on the first day. This is integral if you want to make story progress in this game. So yeah, that is why I wanted to take care of that. So now that we are here at a much earlier point in the free day cycle, what are we able to do around here? Well, namely, we can see that there's a couple of cows grazing around here that you normally wouldn't be able to see since the cows were all abducted for some reason when we visited this area before. Yeah, you can usually just find the cows grazing about, but mainly want to head to the ranch proper. Look! Yes, Tattle, I know, we have seen our horse here before. Isn't that your horse? I mean, it's good to know that the Skull Kid was kind enough to leave our horse in an area where she would be well cared to. Hello, HBK, welcome to the stream here. So you can see that this girl who we previously saw was looking very traumatized on the final day of the cycle is now out and about shooting her bow. So how about we talk with her and see what's going on? Hey, who are you? I'm Romani. I was given the same name as the ranch. What's your name? Hayden. Hayden? That's a nice name, but how about Grasshopper? That's the name Romani gives you. See, you're wearing green clothes, and you patter about when you walk, so Grasshopper it is. Romani was practicing for tonight. Tonight. They are coming. They come at night, every year when the carnival approaches. They come riding in a bright, shining ball. A whole lot of them come down. And then they come to the barn. My older sister won't believe me, but Romani must protect the cows. Hey, Grasshopper, I'm recruiting for an assistant right now. You're a boy, won't you try? Well, I am a little qualified. Great! Now that's the spirit, Grasshopper. Okay then, I'm going straight into my strategy. They'll appear all over the ranch. They'll aim for that barn and approach it slowly. So hit them with arrows so they can't get in. You got that? And you mustn't leave the ranch. Grasshopper, let's practice right away. There are 10 ghost-shaped balloons in the ranch, so hurry and burst them all. If you take over 2 minutes, you're out. The current record is 1 minute. Are you ready? Let's do this. So we are given the ability to ride Epona around. She controls very similar to how she does back in Ocarina of Time. It's only she is in her filly form instead of being an adult horse when we saw her back in Ocarina. And yeah, this mission really isn't too bad. Just riding around and shooting at all of these ghost-like balloons. Now, the placement of these balloons is going to be related to one of the main objectives we're going to be doing in this session. But we're not going to worry too much about that. Just need to focus on taking care of these balloons. Now, your goal here is to try and complete the mission in under 2 minutes. Because I think that there is something else you could potentially get if you clear it in under a minute. It's not really too bad to do this, since the balloons are always placed in the same location. Ooh, I think I just got it. Okay, you're done. Alright, we got it just over 1 minute. That's great! You two work perfectly together. I'll teach Romani's horse calling song to you, Grasshopper. Now you two keep getting better and go practice some more. The horse seems to like this song. A very familiar song for anyone who has played Ocarina of Time. You played Epona's song. It's Epona's song, the song of two who are bound by trust. When your arrow hits these, they burst into nothing, but the real ones will keep popping up. If they get in the barn, we lose. They run away at first light of the sun, so we'll have to keep fending them off until then. Did you get that? Yes, I did. The operation starts tonight at 2. I'll be waiting in the barn. Don't be late. You've taken on the job of nighttime assistant. This was added to your notebook. So the main thing you're required to do in order to advance the story here is to partake in Romani's minigame so that you gain access to being able to use Epona. However, this also unlocks a new side quest that we're able to take care of. We come here on the night of the first day in this cycle, we'll be able to help out Romani in protecting the barn from the mysterious intruders who are going to try and abduct the cows. So yeah, it gives a bit of insight into what happened here in the previous cycles when we weren't able to access this area. And of course, it's very good that we're able to get our horse back. Now, this is kind of going into a bit of a personal thing that I wanted to mention, but I had a grandmother who sadly passed away last year, and she used to own a horse farm, and she really loved horses, so I always think of her whenever I see these animals. So yeah, it just feels really good to be reunited with Epona here. Now we've taken care of that, let's head into Mama's house. I don't know why this place is called that, considering just what the family situation's like over here. But yeah, pretty sure we didn't visit this house the last time we were here. It's nice just to look around to get a feel for what the Romani homestead is like. So I'm pretty sure we can see Cremia out somewhere around here. She's usually going to be tending to the cows around the farm, so we could look around for her. She could also be in the barn, so we'll check on her here. Because I do want to talk to Cremia on the first day, because she's obviously going to have something to say here that we couldn't see in the previous cycles. Let's just roll around as a Goron and see if we can spot her. After all, this is the best mode of transportation we'll get in this game. You'll usually see her tending to the cows, so if you just look around here, you should be able to find her. Oh, there she is. Hi, Cremia. Oh my, did you come from town? Yes, I did. Then that means milk road's open to traffic. Good, I can deliver milk to town now. Welcome to Romani Ranch, Chateau Romani's village. Enjoy yourself. It's quite a nice detail here that the two sisters who run the ranch, they reuse the child and adult models of Malin back in Ocarina. So it's kind of cool getting to see a new spin on this character, where we have these two sisters. So of course, we got a lot that we're going to need to take care of while we are dealing with things here. You can get a lot of arrows by cutting the bushes around here, which is pretty fitting. Now, what I want to do now, we could just use our song in order to go straight into the next night. However, I also have some other things I want to take care of while we are doing this stream in order to prepare for what we're going to be doing a little bit later. So, we are going to play the reverse Song of Time in order to set the flow of time back to normal, so that we can quickly get things moving along, and we'll be able to enter our little nighttime rendezvous here pretty quickly. So yeah, there's some other stuff I want to do around here, but we will get into that in just a little bit. Actually, I remembered we are going to need Epona for what we're going to do here, so we can freely play Epona's song now that we have it, in order to summon Epona to our side. And what's nice about this song is that you don't need to destroy the boulder blocking access to Milk Road in order to be able to call Epona. As long as you have the song, she will always warp to your side. But yeah, I wanted to come to the Gorman track while we have Epona. Is that pathetic thing your horse? I would have guessed that little thing was a mule for sure. Ain't that right, little brother? Do you think a horse that pathetic would gallop if you pushed forward? Or would it run faster if you pressed A? This guy's funny. Why don't you give us 10 rupees for the chance to race against us? If you win, we'll give you something nice, kid. What'll you do? We'll challenge the Gorman brothers. It's a simple race. Just go once around the track. If you can beat us to the finish line, you win. You ready? This is a good way to get acquainted with the controls of Epona. No, don't want to bring out my bow. That's not necessary here. So when riding Epona, you can use the action button in order to expend some carrots that allow you to give you a burst of speed. It's very quite nice to take these opportunities when you can in order to try and rush ahead. But yeah, we are going to be racing the Gorman brothers here. You want to be very careful here. Make sure you don't completely expend your stamina. Try to jump over the gates here when you can in order to try and get a good burst of speed. So you want to try and cut forward as much as you can and try to get ahead of these guys. Oh man, I don't have a lot of stamina. I don't think I'm going to make it here. Yeah, I know. If you get into those mud puddles, that will just completely slow you down. So that race didn't go too well, but we can try again. Ha ha! We win! If you like, we'll let you race us again! What do you do? Sure thing. We got plenty of rupees to do this and plenty of time before the next cycle. But yeah, what I recommend doing here, don't try to expend too much of your stamina right away. Try to get ahead of the brothers and then use your stamina whenever it is necessary in order to keep your lead. Alright, let's try to build our stamina back up again. So I recommend staying as close to the center of the track as much as you can. As you can see, the brothers have to cut around the gates because their horses really aren't the best. So as long as you try to jump over the gates, you should have a good opportunity to beat these guys. Alright, let's just go forward. Oh, come on! I could have had it that time. Only I had more stamina. Alright, we'll try this again. This is, of course, a reference to when you raced against Ingo back in Ocarina. Fittingly enough, in order to acquire Epona in that game. I always like the addition of Epona as a trusted companion to Link in the series. She's just a very sweet filly. And getting to reunite with her in Ocarina when she's a mare and getting to really use her abilities to the fullest in that adventure, it's always good. Come on, we got a good amount of speed here. Try to get ahead of these guys. Alright, need a good amount of stamina for this next part. It should be good. There we go. And let's just burst forward. There we go. We finally won. I can't believe we lost! Big bro, I wonder if we can give that to this guy. We gotta give him something. Well, he's a kid, so what could he do with it? It should be fine. You got the Garo's mask. The wandering ninja spirits who appear at Ikana once wore this. In exchange, you can't tell anyone where you got this. You rubbed the Gorman brothers' noses in it. This was added to your notebook. So with that, we managed to finally beat the Gorman brothers at a race, and managed to acquire ourselves a brand new mask. Huh, it's weird, whenever I wear this, I have a sudden urge to sing rap music. Yeah, why exactly do these guys have this particular mask? Maybe we'll find out later. But for now, that's about everything I wanted to do around the ranch for the time being. So how about we go exploring some new areas now that we have Epona. So having Epona is going to open up 2 new areas that we can explore around Termina. She is required if you want to finish the game. So be sure to get her at Romani Ranch. So the first stop we're going to make is we're going to head over to the east. This was an area we briefly visited before in our journey, but we couldn't get very far because we did not possess the means of jumping over this fence over here. But now that we have Epona, we can just hop across. Very nice. Of course, there are a lot of bomb chews in this area, so, you know, gotta be careful of that. We head over here is another familiar face from Ocarina.
What are you doing in a place like this? Ikana Hill beyond here is the place where spirits with troubles and lingering regrets wander. Even now the spirits wander in search of one who can save them. It's unfortunate, but it's no place for one such as you. But if you must enter, you must obtain the mask containing wandering spirits that can be found near the ranch. Without that mask, you cannot save their souls. Until then, I will not let you pass by here.
So, our Garo mask is actually the key to being able to access what this guy is referring to. However, we don't need to use it at the moment because there really is no reason for us to do so. So, at least at this time. So, there's not much we're going to do about that. However, there is something around here that I do want to do. If we come over here, we can notice that Tattle is reacting kind of strangely when you're in this circle of rocks. So how about we bring out our Lens of Truth? We can see that there's a guy here. Huh? Don't tell me. I'm shocked. You're the first person who's ever spoken to me. I've been here for many years, waving my arms around and asking for help, but everyone ignores me and passes me by. It's 'cause I'm about as impressive as a stone, right? I'm used to it, though. I have a request. Can you give me some medicine that would make even an unnoticeable stone like me feel better? Luckily, before we came here, I made sure to grab ourselves a bottle of medicine. How about we give it to this guy? Ah, is that it? I feel better, I think. Thanks. Oh, here, in gratitude. You got the stone mask. Where was he to become as plain as stone? Now, let me practice standing out. Shiro, the stone soldier, was added to your notebook. You helped the inconspicuous soldier. This was added to your notebook. Yeah, it's kind of interesting how this guy is just hidden here, and it's all because of this mask. The stone mask, as its name says, Makes you about as interesting as a stone. It's also got just a very derpy face. I just love seeing Link with this thing on. It's a very funny design. Yeah, wearing this should make you unnoticeable to most things. So you can see that the Bombchus here aren't reacting at all to us. So it's a good way to evade enemies by wearing this mask so they don't notice you. It's actually quite nice. Of course, there are other uses for this thing, but we'll talk about that a bit later. Because now we got ourselves a new area we can see over here. Ikana Graveyard. So this area is going to be quite important for some things that we're going to be doing, both in this session and in the future. If we head over here, we got a familiar face from Ocarina again.
I am Dampe, the gravekeeper who watches over this graveyard. My face is frightening, but I'm not a bad person. All the graves here belong to the family members of the King of Ikana Castle, a place that lies beyond the mountains. Even nowadays, the ghosts come out at night. It's a frightening graveyard.
So I want to remember what he says there for later. But yeah, we got ourselves a pretty ominous space here. It's like a big old graveyard and, ooh, a lot of hearts in there, as well as a red rupee. Quite nice. And we also got a spot of stones over here. So usually when there's a ring of stones, what I would recommend is bringing out bombs and placing them down there. Because I can usually blow up a hole that's hidden within the ring of stones. So down here, should be able to grab something hidden in here. And get ourselves 5 Bombchu. Okay, that's quite nice. Bombchu are, of course, a type of bomb that runs across the ground until it strikes something. Can be useful under certain circumstances if you want to just attack an enemy from a distance. But the next thing we want to do is head over here. You can see there's this big skeleton over here. And if we read this, "Ye who awaken me, battle me, then shall I extinguish the furious flame." So got ourselves quite the interesting challenge here. So what I want to do is play the Song of Awakening. And that causes the big skeleton to rise up. This enemy is called Captain Kita. What you want to do here is just try and stun it with your arrows so that it doesn't move. You want to try and get as close to this thing as you can without being struck by it. Also, it will just summon some enemies in order to impede your progress. These enemies are, of course, Stall Children, which we saw back in Ocarina. Once you manage to get up to Captain Kita, he will start attacking you instead of running away. So gotta be careful with this guy. He will try to body slam you from above, but enough strikes will take him out.
Wait! It is my loss! Sheath your weapon! I commanded the Ikana army of Ikana Kingdom atop the hill. I am called Skull Kita. Since being shamed by loss in a battle within my kingdom, I have waited here for one to come and awaken my soul. Young swordsman who's awakened and deftly defeated me, I shall rely on your power to fulfill my request. I ask you to take my soul, which rests in the fiercely burning flame, and convey my words to my men, who even in death remain loyal to me. Tell them the war has ended. Then I shall be able to drift quietly into sleep. Captain! Sir! May I take leave, sir?
Skull Kita, you are dismissed.
Yes, sir!
And by taking care of that, the fire around that chest has now been lifted. So now we can hop across over here and claim our prize. You got the captain's hat. Wear it with C. The ghosts of 100 soldiers swear allegiance to this symbol of authority. So this hat here is built in the likeness of Skull Kita. If we wear it, we take on Skull Kita's likeness, which should be quite useful to us, especially since it is rapidly approaching nighttime. Man, time really does pass quickly if you don't play the song of, well, the reverse song of time. We want to have this mask on for a little bit. So we come to the graveyard at night. We can see that there is now stall children in this area.
Huh? Oh, Captain! Excuse me, sir.
So these guys will talk to you when you're wearing the captain's hat. The squad leader is in front of that grave over there, sir. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, you can still kill these guys because they still count as enemies, but, you know, kind of feels bad to do that. Huh? Ah, Captain! Excuse me, sir. The squad leader's in front of that grave over there, sir. They've been loyally standing here waiting for their captain's orders all this time. So how about we talk to these guys? Huh? Ah, Captain, sir. Excuse me, sir. Everyone, give the captain your attention. We haven't seen you in some time, Captain, sir. As for your orders, sir, we've been guarding these graves closely. We haven't all been expecting your next order, sir. What shall we do? Open the grave. Open it? Yes, sir. Everyone, follow me. So, every night of the free day cycle, we can come here and have the stall children open up a new grave. And doing so will present some new things for us to do. So we are able to enter this little space down here with a lot of enemies. Sorry, my options. I really don't have anything to help us out here. So got a lot of bad bats here. I feel like spin attacks are just really good for taking care of this massive swarm of enemies. So just try to do spin attacks and you should be good. Otherwise, you can just snipe them from a distance with your arrows. Get back here, you. Alright, think that's all of them. So once you take care of those guys, that will cause a chest to appear, giving us a purple rupee. Alright, that's very good if you're looking to acquire a good supply of rupees. Now, the next thing I want to do, there is a door leading forward, and there's some unlit braziers. So you can probably guess what we need to do here. So we want to take our fire arrows and light up these torches. And by doing that, this will open the door forward. Oh boy, we got ourselves a mini-boss here. So this is Iron Knuckle. You know about the Iron Knuckle, right? Stay away from its axe attack, then look for a chance to retaliate. So these guys were some of the most formidable enemies back in Ocarina of Time. They hurt like the dickens. Those axes are really powerful, so try not to get hit. Jump attacks are really good for dealing with them. Just want to try and keep your distance by doing back attacks. And if you're just persistent, you should be able to take them out. And by dealing with that guy, look what we have here.
Are you the one who freed my soul? I serve the Ikana royal family. I am the composer called Flat. The songs connected to the royal family that remain here were all composed by my brother and I. Oh, Sharp, my dear brother! He sold his soul to the devil and was the one who locked me in here! You who do not fear the dead, learn well the song that's inscribed behind me. And if you ever meet my brother, I'd like you to inform him. The 1,000 years of raindrops, summoned by my song or my tears. The thunder that strikes the earth is my anger. I have made my request.
So Flat here is another returning face from Ocarina of Time. Although in that game, he was a completely optional encounter you could have in the Kakariko Graveyard. But by meeting him here, here's written the song that shall cleanse his cursed black soul. Keep the song in your heart. So we're learning another song that we learned back in Ocarina. The Song of Storms. You remember the Song of Storms. This melody that you've heard before is the turbulent tune that blows curses away. Quite nice that we have obtained that. So we have been given a new task from Flat, the ghost who once served the royal family as their composer. We need to find his brother Sharp and play his song to him. It's going to be a little while before we do that, but trust me, as this is going to be very important as we are going to progress through this area. However, for the time being, that's pretty much everything I want to do in Ikana for the time being. We'll want to come back here in later days of this cycle so that we can check out the other graves here. But for now, we don't need to worry too much about that. So with our current time, we should be able to still do some things. Can we quickly put that on? Yeah, as long as you wear the stone mask, you don't have to worry about enemies. So even these bubbles will just completely ignore you. Quite nice. I gotta admit, I don't often use the stone mask for this purpose. I more so use it for a certain quest that we'll eventually get to later. But it is quite useful for being able to avoid encounters with enemies. Definitely nice if you want to avoid combat. Alright, it's getting pretty close to the time where we want to go back to the ranch. But I'm thinking about what else we could do at this time now that we have access to our horse. I feel like we could just... We should be good to head to the ranch right now. There's some more stuff that we're going to want to do with Epona, but... Yeah, we can save that for a little bit later, because we have ourselves a big job to do at the ranch, and I want to make sure we are prepared for that. So let us head on over. Now, before doing this objective, I highly recommend that you get the quiver upgrades by doing the archery challenges both in Clocktown and at the swamp, as having a fully upgraded quiver is going to make this section much easier on you. Also, I feel like mentioning that now that we have the Song of Storms, that song is also quite useful if you want to use magic beans, as you can play the Song of Storms in order to water the plants in order to make them fully grown. You don't need to worry about gathering spring water in one of your bottles. So yep, that's another pretty good thing to keep in mind. Alright, we are very close to our appointed time here. We were asked to come here around 2 a.m. by Romani. And we should be good for what's ahead. Thinking about our current equipment, we should be good just as long as we have our bow. I'm also gonna go ahead and switch to the regular arrows, cause we do not need the fire arrows for what we're gonna be doing here. But yeah, we just want to wait out here for something to happen. So we should be seeing Romani coming out that door in just a bit. Thinking of some other stuff we can mention while we're waiting. No, I've been doing pretty okay so far. Making some good progress in leveling up some more of my Genshin characters, and I'm actually getting pretty close to the point where I want to increase the world level in my Genshin Impact file, so that I'll be able to take care of some stuff pretty soon when it comes to leveling up my characters some more. So now that it is at least 2 p.m. here, we have Romani heading into the barn. Let's go talk with her. It's almost time. You take care of things outside, Grasshopper. If you have a map, watch your map carefully. Okay? Whatever happens, do not let them get into the barn. They'll come from behind the barn too, so watch out. If you run out of arrows, we have crates of them near the house, so stock up when you need to. Oh boy, this part. So I recommend standing on top of this crate here in front of the barn. And let's just wait for business to happen. Here it comes. The invaders have arrived. So our objective here is to strike at these monsters. They are simply referred to as them. What I could recommend during this section is to play the reverse Song of Time in order to get them to slow down, as they actually move slower depending on whether you have played that song. But yeah, you want to be careful here. There will be one of these creatures showing up behind the house in order to try to get the barn that way. As long as you're persistent, you should be able to shoot these guys down. So yeah, these creatures, it's never explicitly stated, but it's heavily implied that these are aliens. Yeah, quite wild to see alien invaders here in a Zelda game. But that is the implication of what these creatures are. They are simply referred to as them. And they are persistent. They will just be charging straight at the barn. They'll completely ignore you, so you don't have to worry about getting damaged. But yeah, do not let them touch the barn, otherwise you will lose. They'll abduct the cows as well as Romani. So just be persistent, shoot them down whenever they get close, and you should be good. Alright, we got you coming up from behind the house again. Let's take this guy out. You can track their position on your map to see where they are, and as long as you're persistent, you should be good at taking care of these guys. God, such a wild mission. I'm so happy that this is in this game, because it's just so interesting from a lore perspective. Just the fact that there are aliens in the Zelda universe. I've got these guys coming up over here. There we go. We managed to hold them off until daybreak. So, they have departed. We did it! We won! Thank you! Thank you! The cows are giving thanks too. Here's Romani's thanks. When you drink it, put your hand on your hip and take a big gulp like we do here at the ranch. So by helping out Romani defend the farm, we get a bottle of milk. One quick gulp will have you feeling great. You'll recover 5 hearts per gulp. This bottle contains 2 gulps. When it's empty, recycle the bottle. It's almost time for my sister to get up, so I have to get back to bed. See you later, little hero. You helped the ranch girl and saved the cows. This was added to your notebook. Thanks to our efforts, Romani Ranch has now been saved. Which is especially good because we do not want to see little Romani getting traumatized after being abducted by aliens. Yep, thanks to our efforts, the ranch has been saved. Now, this would be the point where I play the reverse Song of Time again. However, there is another objective that we can do at the ranch that we'll be doing in a little bit, but I'm going to wait a little while before we take care of that. So we're going to move right along to the second day. Now that's a new day, how about we look around and see what we can do around here. So I want to see if we can find these sisters again, now that it's a brand new day. If we head inside here, I don't know if there's anyone over here. Nope. Okay, they're probably out in the yard. And could also be over in the barn. Oh, by the way, never took the opportunity of reading this dog's mind that was around. Ruff, I wonder if my cute-faced owner will let me quit practicing yet. Aw, it's nice that the dog seems to like Romani, even it can be a little tired of her antics. Inside the barn, we can find the girls. Oh my, hello. Romani's gonna take our milk to Clocktown, too. You're looking after the place. The cows would be all alone otherwise. Yes, sister. I'm going by wagon into town. Would you like a ride? I'll be leaving about 6 o'clock this evening, so you can join me if you'd like. So that right there gives us our next objective here in the Romani Ranch quest line. We want to come back here at around 6 o'clock p.m. on the second day. So that will be pretty interesting for us to go into. But for now, we are done with things around the ranch for now. So how about we make some progress in the main story? Yeah. I know we took a little detour over to Ikana Canyon to see some of the stuff we can do around there. But it was quite nice. We managed to get done everything I wanted to do in that area on the first day of this cycle. So the next thing I want to do is we're going to head over to the west side of the map. Because over here by the sand, we are now able to jump over this wall now that we have Epona. And this will grant us access to a brand new area to explore. Welcome to the Great Bay Coast. So we got ourselves a tropical area to the west of Clocktown. So this place is going to be quite interesting to explore for a number of reasons. There is a ton of stuff we're able to do in this area. First, I want to make note of these 2 buildings over here. One of these is going to be important for later. Specifically, this building. We're not going to be exploring the Oceanside Spider House until much later, because we can't fully complete it. But do know that it will be important later. And then, we have this spot over here. Fisherman's Hut. Rare fish inside. Huh, how about we check this place out? Hello, sir. You're looking kind of ogre-ish. I've been catching fish in these seas for 30 years. When it comes to catching fish, I'm even better than the Zoras. That's what I like to be saying anyway. Lately the seawater's gotten really warm. It hasn't helped my fishing at all. What's worse, this water's gotten murky, so when I ship out, I always lose my way and somehow end up back at shore. We fishermen, and even the fish, are in a real predicament. Come to think of it, there was a Zora floating lifelessly out in the bay, but there's probably no helping him now. And we also got this little thing here.
Help me! Please take me back to the waters near Pinnacle Rock!
Are you interested in that fish? It's a rare fish, isn't it? It's called a seahorse. I caught it swimming around here, just off of Pinnacle Rock. Since it's rare, I was thinking of selling it at the town carnival, which should be starting soon. If you want, I'll give it to you, on one condition. Do you have a pictograph of the female pirates? No, I do not. What's this? I guess you don't have one after all. Technically, I do have a pictograph of a female pirate, but it's all blurry and it's not that great. The all-important face. I can't see it very well. Any good picture of a pirate will do, even a snapshot of a guard. Can't you help me out? This guy's kind of weird. Also, he's got a pinup of a Gerudo lady inside of his house. Yeah. This guy is definitely kinda sus. So I'm not going to worry about you for the time being. So, all around this beach, you can encounter levers out on the sea. But we want to head into the water. Danger, keep out. Swimming prohibited due to murky water. So we can swim a little bit out here. And I want to actually head over to this building that we can see in the middle of the water. Because there's quite a few things we can grab over here. Also, I can see something in the water that I definitely want to avoid. But yep, we can climb up here and hit that owl statue, giving us a quick and easy warp over to the Great Bay area. And if we go over here, we can shoot down Tingle in order to buy a map from him. It's going to be quite nice.
What's this? Green clothes? White fairy?
Oh yeah, I've already read your dialogue plenty of times during these streams, so we're just gonna skip ahead. So we're gonna buy the map to Great Bay. You got a map of Great Bay. Now you can find your way around the seashore. The red arrow on the map shows where you entered, and the yellow arrow shows your current location. Well, call again! Tingle, tingle, kululipa! These are the magic words that Tingle created himself.
Don't steal them!
So this area might be familiar to you if you played Smash Brothers Melee, because this area is actually one of the stages that you can fight in that game. It's a quite nice little detail. Marine Research Lab, researching water quality and marine life forms in Great Bay. How about we pop in and see what we can find? So got ourselves yet another face from Ocarina.
They're late! What are those Zoras doing?
What is it, boy? Did you also come to watch the Zora eggs hatch? I'm excited about it too, but those important eggs haven't arrived yet. It takes about 1 to 3 days from the time Zora eggs are laid for them to hatch. But if they aren't kept in this aquarium until then, they may die. The reason for this is that the recent abnormal weather has caused the ocean temperature to rise in this region. Zora eggs are very sensitive to changes in the temperature. The only way the eggs can hatch is if they're placed in this aquarium water, which I set aside for them long ago. The Zoras are well aware of this, but they're still late. I wonder if something's happened at Zora Hall. Oh, look at these little fishies in here. So might want to remember those guys for later. So yeah, it's very similar to a man we saw back at Lake Hylia in Hyrule. But there's not much we need to worry about over there. If we go over to this end, we can grab a couple things from those pots, including a fairy. Thinking about it... Yeah, we could put a fairy in a bottle, if it's still around. Oh, there you are. Never mind. Okay, that takes care of that then. So what else can we do? Huh, seems like there's something floating in the water over there. How about we check out what that thing is?
Somebody, please, get me to shore.
It's a Zora. So we saw these guys quite a bit back in Ocarina of Time. So we are able to grab onto this guy and we can push him closer to the shore. Yeah, let's not lock onto him because that's not really that good for this. Just want to push him up to the sand.
Ugh. Oh, God. Thanks, kid. Now, I gotta... Ugh. Oh, no!
Poor guy. He's not doing too hot.
I am Mikau of the Zora people, guitarist in the Zora band. I think this is it for me. My final message. Will you listen to it?
Of course.
1, 2, 3! Oh, baby, baby, listen to me. The carnival's beginning soon. We're the ones they're waiting to see. But that girl, a vocalist, she laid some strange eggs and she's lost her voice. You can't hear what she says. Whoa! In Great Bay now, something is happening. Is it now? Oh, baby, listen to me. I don't wanna beg. Gerudo pirates, they stole that girl's eggs. I went to stop the Gerudo pirates, and pow and bam, I got knocked down, and here I am. Baby, if I die like this, even if I die, it won't be in peace, that's for sure. Somebody, please rescue her eggs before the pirates take their toll. Oh, somebody, please heal my soul. That's all. Thank you.
Poor guy. Well, he asked us to heal his soul. So let's help him.
What's happening? My soul feels like it's drifting away. Huh? Lulu! What are you doing here? The band. Right. Let's go, Lulu.
You got the Zora mask. This mask contains the spirit of a legendary guitarist. Wear the mask with C to inhabit the body of a Zora. Press C again to return to normal. carve my farewell song on my grave. I'm depending on you to help that singer girl. God, that scene, it's just so sad seeing this guy. By the time that we got to Darmani, he was already long dead. And by the time we were able to get to Mikau, there was no hope of helping him. We were able to put his soul at rest before he expired, but we weren't able to truly save him. But at least now we have a mask with his power, so that we can carry on his final request. And now we can inhabit the body of a Zora. We take on Mikau's likeness, giving ourselves quite a few abilities. We can strike at opponents using melee attacks. And if we hold down the attack button, we can throw our fins out like boomerangs. Quite the useful set of abilities here. Then, of course, we can also block attacks using our fins, turning them into a shield. If it's not obvious enough, I really like the Zora form a lot. Goron form is already just a really amazing form, but being able to turn into a Zora, yeah, this is really, really cool. Of course, we can get some information on our abilities. Herein lies Mikau, the legendary guitarist of the Zora tribe. He's to be remembered in song, and his lyrics are written here. You try to sing Mikau's lyrics. We the Zora. Sharp fins are the mark of the Zora. We swim, speeding for the seas with A. If R is pressed when swimming, a shield is produced to deflect enemies. Spoken, if you have magic. We can even dive by pressing B. Oh, oh, we the Zora. But that's not all. You can also learn about Zora fighting. For by punch and anger, hit B, then B repeatedly for a flurry of attacks. Yeah. For my deadly move, press and hold B. Now release. It's the final blow. My double cutters. Quite useful indeed. But yep, now that we are a Zora, there's quite a bit that we are able to do. Namely, there's a certain area that I want to try exploring if we head to the southern section of Great Bay over here. Of course, we got some levers that are going to be attacking us. Now rehearsing at Zora Hall, the Zora band with that deep sea sound, the Indigogos. We'll want to head this way. Though we are rapidly running out of time in this session, as you can clearly see by the time at the bottom of the screen. There's quite a bit we want to do. Alright, at this point, I want to head into the water so that we can show off our swimming abilities. So swimming as a Zora is quite nice. You got some pretty good control underwater, all things considered. You can also leap out of the water like that. It's very nice. Yeah, it's just very cool being able to swim like a Zora. Also, create a shield in order to protect you from enemies, like those bonefish and that like. And by heading into this place, we're able to enter Zora Hall. This area is very similar to Zora's domain, which we saw back in Ocarina, being the main residence of the Zora people. Zora, of course, are a species of fish-like humanoids that are very popular in the Zelda series. Ah, you're Mikau, right? Good luck practicing for the concert. I'm looking forward to your rehearsal. So we got quite a few people we can talk to in this area. Oi, Mikau, what's up with the rehearsal? I've been told that rehearsal's about to begin, but the band members are still shut away in their rooms. And Lulu's just hanging around by that lone island out back. What's going on? how about we head this way first? If we go through this area, we enter this section of Great Bay Coast, which has yet another owl statue. Definitely want to hit this one, as it's going to be quite important to us for later. Grab some more stuff from these bottles here, and look who it is. It's the very same Zora woman that we saw before Mikau expired. We tried talking to Lulu. That sad face is trying to tell you something. You can see it in her expression. It seems like she doesn't want to talk. We heard a little bit about a girl who had her eggs stolen from her by pirates. So we'll want to look into that a bit later. However, it is almost time to go back to the ranch. So let's warp over to Milk Road so that we can get this taken care of. We'll see what else we can do with the Zoras here in a little bit after we manage to take care of this first. But yeah, this section of the game, oh man, we got a lot to discuss in a bit. Right now, we gotta head back to the ranch. It's like, you want to be here once it gets to 6 p.m. on the second day. We should have plenty of time to get to the ranch before this happens. Don't mind me taking the rolling technique here. Night of the second day. Once it is the night of the second day, we can find Cremia out on this wagon. Hello there.
Oh, good evening. I'm going to town now to deliver milk. Would you like a ride?
Yes, please.
That's great. Tonight, I'm kind of lonely. I welcome company.
I guess it's been a while now since our father died. I'm trying to take care of the ranch, but things have been getting unstable lately. Cal's always seemed bothered and frazzled, finding broken bottles everywhere. My sister Romani's been worried too. She's practicing using a bow. She says this to stop ghosts. What are the townsfolk saying about that moon? It's bigger than before, isn't it? In town, I have a friend. Her name's Anju. The day after tomorrow is her wedding. I wonder if it will fall. That thing. Sadly, there's not much we can do about it for the time being. What? The road! Boy, get your bow ready. Oh boy, this part. First Milk Road's blocked by a boulder, and now we have to take this detour through ugly country. Are you ready, boy? I'm gonna try to get us through here as fast as I can. If any pursuers come from behind, chase them off with your arrows. They may be after my cargo of milk bottles. Do you understand? Yes. Thanks. I'm relying on you. If we can get through here, I'll have a big thanks for you. We're being attacked. We got ourselves the Gorman brothers trying to destroy our shipment of milk that Cremia's delivering. Strike at them with the bow. Do not let them come close. You have infinite arrows, so just feel free to spam them. Just strike at them, and you should be able to push them back. If they get close to the wagon, they will start attacking the milk jugs. If they're able to destroy all of the milk bottles, then we will lose this event. Just keep hammering away at them, keep them back, and you should be good. Yeah, this sequence can be pretty stressful. You're only able to do this event after you have managed to save the cows by helping out Romani. So, yeah, if you fail at this segment, you have to redo that entire section over again. But luckily, we're able to hold them off long enough to get through. Man, what a bunch of assholes sabotaging their competitors like this when we're trying to make our delivery. Screw them. Mr. Barton was happy to get his first delivery in quite a while. Thank you. You were pretty cool. This isn't very big, but accept my thanks. And by helping out Cremia, you got Romani's mask. Where was he to show you're a member of the exclusive Milk Bar Latte? By doing one good deed, a child becomes an adult. That mask is only given to a limited number of adult customers. It's proof of membership. I now acknowledge you as being an adult. You guarded the ranch's milk. This was added to your notebook. So with that, we're able to help out Cremia with her milk delivery. So at this point, I would recommend playing the reverse Song of Time. There aren't really any time-sensitive things I want to do left in this session. It was namely the stuff involving Cremia and Romani. So we'll go ahead and slow down the flow of time. So we got ourselves a lot that we're still going to need to do in the remainder of this session as well as this 3-day cycle. So next thing I want to do, now that we have access to this new mask, is that we can use it in order to enter the milk bar. Latte, members-only milk bar open from 10 p.m. Okay, so we're gonna have to wait a while before we can go in. Oh, hey, bud.
Bother, I'm busy.
Hey, you know your brothers are assholes? It's gonna have to wait a while before we can access the milk bar, so I guess we could speed up the flow of time just a little bit so that we can see what we can do in here now. But yeah, there is something new we can do inside the bar. Now that we have the ability to enter it with the Romani mask. So normally you can enter the milk bar during the day when they are not in their operating hours. However, in order to enter here at night when they are open, you need the Romani mask that you get by helping out Cremia. And just pretty funny having to wear this cow mask just to be able to go drinking. Okay, it is 10 p.m. now. Ah, you're a member. Please come in. So now we're able to enter the milk bar. There's quite a bit we're able to do here. If you go talk to the bartender, welcome. We got some good milk in tonight. Would you like some Romani for your final moon viewing? We can have a drink. What'll it be? So you're able to buy regular milk for 20 rupees, and you can get the Chateau Romani for 200 rupees. So this item is the single best healing item in the game. It fully restores your hearts, fully replenishes your magic, and after drinking it for the remainder of the 3-day cycle you're currently in, it will grant you infinite magic. So yeah, this is a really good item that I recommend getting. It is super good if you just want to be able to have an easy run of some of the late game areas that we are going to see here. It's very pricey and you have to do some pretty tricky mini games in order to get the access to it, but it is very well worth it. It is that good. Give me a call when you make up your mind. So how about we talk to some of the patrons around here? Namely this guy.
Hey, you? Milk? It's milk! Can you get tipsy from something like milk?
So this guy is just sort of drowning his sorrows right now. And then we got this guy that we saw before at the mayor's office.
We was scheduled to do a show, but it got cancelled. This place has a reputation for being a great live venue, so it's a shame. I'd like to do a sound check, though. I just want to see what would have been like. Hey, you! Could you help me with a performance?
Sure thing.
Okay, you play the ocarina right. Go stand under the center spotlight. Okay, play your ocarina like this.
So now we got ourselves a very interesting little sequence we can do here. So under Toto's instructions, we can play our instruments under the spotlights.
Okay, that feels good.
What feels good? That wretched, senseless rocket?
So that we taking care of that. How about we talk to Toto when we're in our other forms?
Could you help me with a performance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you play the pipes right. Go stand under the front left spotlight.
Okay, now play your pipes like this. So now, our pipes get added along to the song we previously played with the ocarina.
Okay, that feels good.
What feels good? That barely even constitutes as music.
And now, if we talk to you as a Goron... Excuse me, sir.
Okay, you play the drums right. Go stand under the rear left spotlight.
So we go over here.
Okay, play your drums like this.
So now our drums get added along to the tunes we played before.
Okay, that feels good.
What feels good? You might as well be making music out of a bunch of crap.
So now that we have our Zora mask, let's talk to you as, you know, you should be able to recognize us. No, well.
Okay, you play guitar, right? Stand beneath the spotlight on the right.
So we go over here in our Zora form. And that completes the song. Now that we have played all four of our instruments,
bravo! That was the best!
That melody.
That melody.
It brings back so many memories.
It's their old standby, Ballad of the Windfish. That's the song that members of the previous generation of the Indiegogo's made famous.
I entered show business because I heard this song at the Carnival of Time long ago. By doing performances, I thought maybe I'd get to meet the singers of that song.
The one you heard singing must have been the original Lulu, mother of the current lead singer who's also named Lulu.
So, her daughter is singing now. Is that so? I'd like to hear that. I'm sorry I booed you. Please, take my mask.
you got the circus leader's mask. This mask looks so sad it could put a tear in even a demon's eye. You saw the tears of circus leader Gorman. This was added to your notebook. So we did all of that in order to get ourselves yet another mask. So this mask we get from Gorman, it's a mask that gives us the ability to cry. Yeah, that's it. So I would consider this the most useless mask in the game. It really only has one use as far as I know. And that is if you are wearing this mask when you're doing the mission with Cremia in order to escort her milk crates. When you're wearing this mask, the Gorman brothers will not attack the wagon because they are reminded of their brother when they see your mask. Kind of an interesting little thing, but you can't acquire this mask until after you have already done that mission once, and there really isn't any incentive of doing it a second time. I mean, there kind of is. So if you do the mission with Cremia in another cycle after already completing it and getting the Romani mask, then Cremia will reward Link by giving him a hug. And, you know, it's kind of cute. But now that we've taken care of that, what am I doing here? So I actually do not want to play that song, because we have some things that we can do if we head back to Icona Canyon. And at this point, yeah, I'm pretty confident that we can slow the flow of time here, because we are not going to require it to be moving fast for the remainder of this session. I've already done everything that we needed to. That is time sensitive. Well, besides a few things, but we don't need to worry about that. Alright, let's grab our stone mask and the captain's hat. And then the next thing I want is to summon Epona, as we're gonna need her in order to get back to Icona Canyon. There you are. Just quickly warps to our side. Very good. Alright, so there's still gonna be some stuff we can do over at Zora Hall, but we're gonna save that for a little bit later, as there's still some things I want to do over here in Icona Canyon. So we didn't have enough speed at that point. Okay. So yeah, just want to head back over to the graveyard now that we are on the second night of this cycle. And believe it or not, we're going to want to visit this area on the final night as well. But I want to take care of things here first, so that we manage to get this done. So now that we're back in the graveyard, we can see these guys are now circling a different grave. So how about we talk to them?
Huh? Ah, Captain, sir. Excuse me, sir. Everyone, give the Captain your attention. We haven't seen you in some time, Captain, sir. As per your orders, sir, we've been guarding these graves closely. We have all been expecting your next order, sir.
Open the grave.
Open it? Yes, sir. Everyone, follow me!
It's quite nice actually getting to converse with stalled children in this game, kind of getting their background on all this. How these guys used to be soldiers fighting for this nation before it eventually went to hell. We can grab some quick and easy rupees over this way. And then over here, we got ourselves a fake wall there. You're able to see through it if you have the lens of truth, but I didn't really need it. Oh, we could actually use the lens of truth in this area, though, because I recognize what's going to be here. We got ourselves some invisible enemies that can only be detected if you have the lens of truth. So be very careful when going through this area. Just strike down any enemies that you may see, and you should be able to make it through here pretty soundly. Got another spider to take care of. Let's shoot you down. And pretty sure that there's a wall we can break. So let's go equip our bomb. Let's blast you down. So that exposes a door over here we can open. And at the end here, we got ourselves another iron knuckle. So yeah, got quite a few of these guys here. It's quite interesting. Ow! See, you can see there just how much damage that guy's able to do. They hurt a lot. Just try to avoid getting hit as much as possible because they can really lay the smackdown. Luckily, we have the upgraded sword, so they go down really quickly. Yeah, I would not want to fight these guys with just the dinky little Kokiri sword, because they are really painful to deal with. But after dealing with that iron knuckle, we can open up this chest to find a piece of heart. Been quite a while since we got one of these. Also, just love the piles of skulls in this area. It's implying that this area was a mass grave. Huh. Kind of explains where all those stall children came from, doesn't it? But now we've taken care of that. That should be everything in the graveyard we need to worry about. At this point, I think we should be able to just get out of here. So let's play our Song of Soaring and warp on out. Alright, so next area we want to go to, we're going to head back to Zora Cave. As there's going to be quite a few things around here that we are able to do. So we are going to want to return to the graveyard on the final night for something else that's going to be pretty important to what we're going to be doing in a little bit. But yeah, don't have to worry too much about things at the moment. Hey, Lulu. So even as a Hylian, she won't react to us. Kind of sad. So how about we try talking to these folks in our Hylian form? They recognize us as Mikau when we're in our Zora form. But what would they say to a Hylian? Did you come to see the Indiegogo's rehearsal too? No? Have you heard of the Indiegogos? No? Huh, you don't know them. The Indiegogos, that popular band that's going to be doing a concert in town soon. They got Evan, the keyboard king, the thumping bass of Joppus, the cool drum beat of Tijo, but above all, Mikau's weeping guitar and the shimmering voice of Lulu make the best songs. So we can see here that the Zoras hold the band in very high regard. Huh? Here too? This is a problem. Rehearsal hasn't started yet, so I guess it's okay, but once rehearsal starts, you'll have to buy a ticket. The Indiegogo is a wildly popular band right now. If we don't sell tickets to their rehearsals too, we'll end up with tons of people showing up. So yeah, definitely a lot going on over here. We can also go up here to the higher section of the Zora Hall. There really isn't any reason of going up here. Well, I could think of one, but it's not really necessary. If we talk to this guy, did you come here to see the Indiegogos because you couldn't wait for the concert? I heard they were having a rehearsal, and I've been waiting here ever since. But the stage lights aren't even lit, so it looks like it'll be a while before rehearsals start. I wonder when they're gonna start. Come on, I want to see my Lulu. So I believe that you can light some of the torches around here with your fire arrows, but there really isn't any reason to do that. We check out some of the rooms around here. So over here we got ourselves a shop. Welcome, what are you looking for? So we got ourselves some new shields that we're able to acquire. So there are some enemies that can be found around the Great Bay area called like-likes. And if they swallow you, they have a chance of swallowing your shield. So this is an area where you can get a new shield if you lose it. And you can also buy arrows and red potions if you need them. Quite useful whenever you need a restock on those items. But we're not going to worry about that for the time being. Hey there. This is the room of Mikau and Tijo, the guitarist and drummer for the Zora band, the Indogogos. They don't meet with ordinary people. So we're not able to enter some of these areas in here when we're in our Hylian form. However, if we're in the form of a Zora... Hey, Mikau, I haven't seen you in a while. Where have you been? Oh, that's right. Evan, your band leader's looking for you. Want to remember that for later. If we go over here, we can see our buddy Tijo.
Mikau, where have you been? Where have you been? I was worried. The concert town's coming up, but it seems like all the band members are in a funk. I bet you didn't know that, huh? Especially Lulu. I haven't heard her voice in a long time. She's usually in good spirits, too. Ooh, I wonder if this is related to the ocean turning all weird. Actually, I know a little bit of Lulu's secret. You want to hear it?
Sure.
There's a rumor that the ocean's getting weird because there's trouble offshore at Great Bay Temple. And they say when that happens, something bad will befall the Zora descendant who's been protecting the temple. Do you catch my drift? And lately, Lulu's been looking kind of weird. Maybe Lulu's the...
Definitely some interesting implications there. Also, I like that this guy's drum set's made up of a bunch of fish. Now, there's more that we could do in this room, but sadly, we don't have the means of being able to access that until later. So, we're going to hold off on that for the time being. So, how about we head for this area? Mikau, do you need to see Joppus? You're going to have another jam session with him, aren't you? I can't wait. So, let's go check on our bandmate, Joppus. Love the little detail here that Joppus is playing the dungeon theme from the very first Legend of Zelda game on his guitar. Quite a nice little detail here. Alright, let's talk to the dude. Excuse me. Mikau, where have you been? I'm all like, hey, where's Mikau? The concert's coming up soon. And now our band leaders pull the vanishing act. Evan's all holed up in his room just writing songs. And to top it off, Lulu just stands out back staring at the sea. She doesn't even respond when you talk to her. If you guys think it's just 'cause Lulu's not interested in me, I'd understand. But I'm telling you, looks like something's really wrong. Is there something you're trying to hide from me? I'm not running an inquiry or anything. But look, if we don't start rehearsing real soon, we're not going to be ready for the concert. Hey, why don't we forget about waiting for Evan to write a song and just write one ourselves? If you feel up to it, let's have a little jam session. So we can rock out here with Joppus and we bring out a guitar. Huh? You want to have a jam session? Try following this phrase I wrote on your guitar. So here we got ourselves a sequence here. You have to play very specific notes with Joppus in order to continue this sequence. That melody's bogus, man. What's wrong? You're not jamming like you usually do. Sorry, we'll try this again. Luckily, I do have the notes written down that we need to play. So we should be able to handle this. Whoa, that's nice. I got it, I got it, I got it! Here I go! Whoa, you hear that? Man, they're really jamming. Hey, I want to hear. That's got a good feel to it. Even Evan should like this. But he's so proud. He resents the fact that we wrote something on our own. I don't think he'd even let the others try it out. What do you think we should do? Again, I like the detail that all of their instruments are made out of different sea animals. As we can see here, Joppus's guitar is made out of a crab. And of course, Mikau's guitar is made from the skeleton of a fish. It's very cool theming, given that the Zoras are all based on various sea creatures themselves. We even saw a little bit of that with Tijo, how physically he's very similar in appearance to a stingray, which is also very similar to a Zora that we'd see later on in the series, specifically talking about Muzu. Ah, Mikau, what have you been doing this whole time? Evan, the band leader, has been waiting for you for a while now. Hurry, go in, go in! So we can go in here, we can talk to the leader of the band. So this time, Evan is playing, I believe, the credits theme to the original Legend of Zelda game. Quite nice.
Mikau, how was it? Did you get the eggs back?
I hadn't.
Oh, you couldn't do it after all. Have you been to see Lulu out and back by the ocean? Ever since the pirates stole her eggs, she's just been standing out there gazing at the sea and sighing. Mikau, we need those eggs safe so Lulu can get her voice back. We've grown accustomed to life in a peaceful sea. The only one among the Zora tribe who's still able to go to blows with those wild pirates? It's you, with the blood of Zoran heroes flowing within you. I'm still keeping Lulu's problem a secret from the other band members. They've all been looking forward to our Carnival of Time concert. And I can't tell them it's canceled because Lulu can't sing, can I?
So get a little bit more information about what's been going on here, as Evan apparently knows about the situation about Lulu's eggs being stolen, and how he tasked Mikau with trying to get the eggs back. So I don't believe it's outright stated in the game, but it's heavily implied that Mikau and Lulu are lovers, and that Mikau is possibly the father of Lulu's eggs, which certainly explains why he would risk his own life trying to get them back from the pirates. But sadly, he failed in his mission and ended up dying on the beach. So now it's our responsibility to do what Mikau couldn't and save his unborn children. God, the storylines of this game can get so flippin' mature. It's part of why I love Majora's Mask. Just the storylines they bring here are phenomenal in their tone and are so distinct compared to other Zelda games. But anyway, we got ourselves a bit of a quest involving the Zora bandmates. When we were rocking out with our bandmate Joppus, he noted that the song that they played would be good in a performance, but that Evan is too proud to use a song that Joppus and Mikau wrote. But what if we were to give him a bit of inspiration? Let's take the form of a Hylian and play that very same song.
Huh? That song? It works, it works, it works! Not bad. That's a pretty good song I just made up. You got a good sense of melody. We'll play my new song at our next show. Take this and thanks.
You got a piece of heart. You've assembled a new heart container.
You're not thinking I'm stealing your song, do ya?
Yeah, Evan is so proud that if you try to play that song as Mikau, then he will just completely ignore you because he just doesn't want to have a song written by Mikau in his performance. So you gotta assume a different form to play the song. Quite the interesting little side quest there. And we got ourselves one last door.
Shut up, I'm busy right now.
Mikau, you caught me! Lulu's been looking kind of weird lately. I was worried. It's not like I was spying on her or anything. I'm not some kind of weirdo with some sort of slimy fish or anything. Yeah, I just remembered I have somewhere to be. What time is it? Yeah, I have to be there, like, now. See ya! There he goes. I tell ya, popularity attracts all kinds of people. Lulu's diary. It's been 2 days since I've lost my voice. I don't want Mikau to know, so I talked to Evan about it. He recommended I take the eggs to the Marine Research Lab to have them checked. I think I'll take them right away. Such a terrible thing has happened today. I don't even know where to begin writing. I heard a sound late at night, and when I opened my eyes, I saw strangers in my room. I tried to fight, but they were able to steal my precious eggs. It seems I lost consciousness after that. Today I told everything to Mikau, the one person whom I didn't want to know about it. At first I was too embarrassed and too sad to do anything. And with the words that Mikau said at that moment, I felt that all hope had been lost. But please, Mikau, I'm begging you, don't do anything rash. Yeah. Really puts things into perspective. Mikau lost his life trying to help Lulu and to save their unborn children. You can even see here that a table has been cut in half by a giant scimitar, a memento from the pirate attack. But I'm sure the big question on everyone's mind is, what is this guy doing in Lulu's room?
Thanks for stopping by. I'm doing business with a focus on Zoras. That makes you a potential customer. Is this your room?
I'm awfully sensitive to the sea breeze, so I'm sorry, but I'd like you to rent this room to me.
Buy this a messy room?
Did something happen in here?
Well, I really can't do anything about it. I'll sell you a green potion for 40 rupees.
So you're able to buy green potions from this guy if you're a Zora. However, as you can probably guess, we are able to sell this guy a certain deed if we talk to him as a different race.
Thanks for stopping by. Oh, you're from the mountains. I'm selling green potions, but I'm focusing my marketing efforts on Zoras. Actually, I like to do business someplace where it's cooler and the air is clean. But to open a business in another place, you need to go through the proper channels first. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do, sir. Here you go.
Oh, that's a mountain title deed. Thank you. I'll give you this land in exchange.
With that, we're able to get the ocean title deed.
Yahoo! I'm off to the resort. The mountains are calling me.
Well, I hope you enjoy your mountain timeshare, sir. So, by helping out another business scrub, we're able to get ourselves yet another flower that we can use in our Deku form. And you can probably see what we can get with this. Just shoot on up and we can grab a piece of heart. Woo! There we go. Yeah, quite the interesting developments we've had so far. Learning all about what happened over here involving Mikau, how he lost his life trying to get back the eggs that were taken from Lulu by pirates. There is a lot going on in the storyline here in Great Bay, and as you can no doubt tell, there's going to be a lot more going on very soon. And I would very much like to get started on the next thing we need to do in this objective, but it's getting pretty late. We're getting close to 2 hours in this session, so I feel like now is a pretty good stopping point. We managed to help things out at Romani Ranch. We got pretty close to understanding the situation here around Great Bay, and managed to acquire the powers of Mikau, the Zora guitarist. So I feel like now is a good point to stop for the night. There's still some more things that we need to do on the final night in this cycle, but yeah, we are pretty much done with this session. So next time in Majora's Mask, we'll be taking care of what else we can do in this cycle, and then we will get started on trying to get back the eggs that were taken by the pirates. Until next time, have a good night, and take care.